Hey everyone, it's me, MisAnthro Pony. You've probably been wondering what I've been doing for a while, and I really am planning on doing the rest of this confession series, but before I talk about a certain thing, I just want to get this out of the way. I'm waiting for I'm waiting for Golden Fox to make more poses of my OC because a little problem that I'm starting to see in this mini-series is that there isn't enough expression. I seem to be using the same poses, and it doesn't really fit too much with what I'm saying. So I asked him if he could make more vectors of my OC doing whatever, so that the poses could fit better with what I'm going to be saying. So I don't know how much longer it's going to take, but those poses should be ready soon, and when they are, I'll get back to doing those confessions. And another thing I wanted to do was do a 3.5 on this whole mini-series. Basically because I want to talk about certain aspects of my family now that I finished venting. You, at this point, you probably figured out that I don't get along with them very well. I have problems with my mom and my sister and my stepdad, and especially my biological father. I spent a lot of time talking about each one of their faults, and it's kind of caused me to feel very separate, and I've felt very detached from them for years. And here's what I really want to get to. Despite every single bad thing that I said about my family, I don't really want it to be taken into heart. Because when people vent, they say things that they might not really mean. So when I was doing all that venting, I might have gone too far. Because the thing is, I still really care about my family. I still care about my mother and my sister and my stepdad very, very much. My mother, obviously has her flaws, but the thing is, she's done a lot for me over the years, and I really couldn't think of anyone else who would go so far just to provide for me than my mother. And my sister, me and her tend to have a lot of mixed moments. Like, every once in a while, we've had very, very bad moments. But, and sometimes after that, we have really good moments. We talk to each other nicely, and we've done a few outings, and we've been trying to do better over the years, despite the disbelief that you might have had from my last video. And I really want nothing more than a better relationship with my sister. And my stepdad, Robert, yes, he still gets into fights with mom, and he might drink too much, but he's not that bad, as at least not as bad as you might have believed. The thing is, he has an extremely shitty job. It's construction. And, in the winter, it's the worst. With pipes freezing, he's constantly working all day and all night. He only gets a couple of hours of sleep before he's called back, and winter is by far the worst for him. And he just feels so overworked sometimes, so sometimes I think that might make him a little stressed, and I feel really bad for the guy. Like, he has to put up with such a crappy job, and he has no other options. And he actually can be very cheerful. Like, we actually have a lot of funny little bits together. We've seen some movies. We've gone on vacations together. We crack some jokes. And, you know, he actually gets along with Mom when they're not constantly bickering. Uh, I also have done chores with him. I've moved things, I've cleaned around the house, and he takes me places when I ask nicely, so it's not like he's never really done anything for me in return in recent years, because we tend to do some nice stuff for each other, and I'm really glad that we still have days when we can have a stable connection around the house, provided that, he doesn't get into an outburst. And, of course, there's my dad. I've made it very clear that out of the four that I talked about in that previous video, my dad is the one that I resented the most, the one that I talked badly of the most, the one that I went so far back into the past just to find faults in his behavior. And yeah, in some ways, I kind of feel very unsure about my relationship with my dad. And at the same time, I just can't bring myself to say that I hate my father, Francisco Diaz. I mean, in that last video, everything I said about him, I meant every word of it, but when I got to that last phrase, when I said that I wouldn't want to, I don't even want to repeat it. It just makes me feel uncomfortable that I went that far. The fact that I actually said that, it made me realize how surprisingly awful I can be, how far I'm willing to go to find faults in people, the horrible things I'm willing to say behind their backs. None of them know that I've been making these videos, and they don't know about anything that I've told anyone watching this channel or the previous video. And if they ever did, I really don't know how they would take it. My dad, it's a really, really particular case with my dad, because when I visit him, we still do fun things. We watch a movie, we visit our cousin, we might do a little outing, we might go to a restaurant, play a game of golf in a dome, we might, go to an arcade, and we might talk about stuff, not too personal, but, just a nice little conversation, especially when we're driving around in the car and we have nothing else to do except just look out the windows. I just really wish that my dad would stop. That every time he has those really bad outbursts, it makes me forget about all of the positive experiences that I've had with him, and I just focus on the negative ones, and I just think of whatever thing I can think of to spite him. And sometimes I only say what he wants to hear, and I might not necessarily mean it. I'm just saying it because I don't want him to feel upset, or I don't want him to get angry or feel ashamed of himself or me. When I did give him that letter, I really, really wanted us to have a better relationship. And I'm not sure if he even remembers if I ever wrote that letter. But if I were to show it to him again, and if he remembers that I still had it with me all these years, I think he would think back to how much it meant to me that I wanted to do that for him. And I think he would remember how much it meant for him that I was willing to forgive him for all his faults, and I still wanted to spend time with him. It's never really been easy living with the family that I've lived with for so long, but it's not the worst. I mean, there's far more horrendous living situations out there. I mean, I've learned that from Keyframe and a particular friend that I've been Skyping with for a long time. The thing is, if I am still here, and I can still have a cheerful outlook on my situation after everything that I've been through and after everything I've had to put up with, and that I can still find it in myself to care about my family, I think it shows that there is still value in my family. And there's value to finding time to do stuff with them, spend time with them, play a family game, go on an outing, go across the country on a vacation, go to the theaters, or go to the arcade. You know, whatever just brings us together and gets us to, care about each other and love each other like a family should. Maybe I was being too harsh in my previous video. Yeah, I was being too harsh. Just like I was when I was screaming at Mage and Golden Fox and Biter and Cuddlepug. And thinking back to how badly I wanted to scream at Digibro and Tommy Oliver for all the faults that I found in them. I'm just so relieved that I stopped when I did. And even months later, I was being spiteful towards my own family behind their back. I really need to make time to talk to them about things, and thinking about what we can do to straighten stuff out so none of these spiteful thoughts occur to me again. Anyway, that's the small update for my channel slash continuation of my confession series that I wanted to put out. I thank you all very much for those of you that took the time to watch this, and I am also very thankful for you for helping out with the growth of my channel as I head towards 2,000 subscribers. I promise as soon as I get those poses, I will get straight back to making this mini-series, because I've been wanting to do this mini-series for a while, and it means a lot to me that I'm getting to talk with people over the internet about previous experiences, and they actually care about what I have to say. It's not over yet, and I still have such a long way to go. I have so much more to talk about, so much more to share with you, my fans. And until then, I just want to wish the best of luck to all of you. So, until my next video, take care of yourselves. Okay? MisAnthro Pony, over and out.